What if a city's importance came not from what it made, but from what it connected? Routes, goods and people moving across oceans. Not through industry alone, but through exchange. Because in the case of Bristol, the story is not just about growth, but about reach. Welcome to the making of Britain. Bristol's development is closely tied to the River Avon, which connects the city to the Severn estuary and beyond that to the Atlantic. This position gave Bristol access not only to inland England, but also to maritime routes that extended across Europe and eventually across the ocean. Unlike inland cities, Bristol's geography allowed it to function as both a regional centre and as an outward-facing port. This dual role shaped its early development. By the medieval period, Bristol had become one of England's most important trading cities. Merchants exported wool and cloth while importing wine, fish and other goods from continental Europe. The city's economy was structured around maritime trade, with ships regularly travelling between Bristol and ports in France, Spain and Ireland. This network of exchange created wealth and supported urban growth. Bristol's importance lay in its connections, its ability to move goods between regions and across borders. As you've walked so far with me, you can really help this channel by liking the video. It helps YouTube show it to far more people who may enjoy it. So thanks. From the late 15th century onwards, Bristol became involved in early Atlantic exploration. Merchants from the city supported voyages that sought new trade routes and opportunities. The most well-known of these is the voyage of John Cabot, who sailed from Bristol in 1497 and reached parts of North America. While the long-term impact of this voyage developed over time, it reflects Bristol's early role in outward expansion. The city was already looking beyond Europe. In the 17th and 18th centuries, Bristol became a major participant in the Atlantic economy. Its merchants traded goods such as sugar, tobacco and manufactured items, connecting Britain to the Caribbean and the Americas. This trade generated significant wealth, which was reinvested into the city through buildings, infrastructure and further commercial activity. Bristol's growth during this period reflects its integration into wider economic systems. The city was not operating in isolation. It was part of a network that extended across the Atlantic. At this point, it's worth considering how Bristol's prosperity should be understood. Was it the result of opportunity and geography, or of its position within systems that extended beyond Britain? Share your thoughts in the comments, because Bristol's history raises questions about how cities gain wealth and influence. As trade expanded, Bristol developed infrastructure to support increasing volumes of shipping. Docks, warehouses and shipyards were built along the river and surrounding areas. However, the Avon presented challenges. Its tidal nature and narrow channel limited the size of vessels that could reach the city centre. Over time, this led to engineering solutions, including the development of the floating harbour in the early 19th century, which stabilised water levels and improved access. Bristol adapted its geography to maintain its role as a trading port. By the 19th century, Bristol faced increasing competition from other ports, particularly Liverpool. Changes in shipping technology and trade patterns altered the balance of maritime power. Larger ships required deeper harbours, and Bristol's river access became a limitation despite earlier improvements. Did you know, if you subscribe, there's loads of videos like this one for you to enjoy. The city's relative importance declined, but it did not disappear. Instead, it adapted, shifting its economic focus while maintaining elements of its trading identity. Although not as heavily industrialised as cities like Manchester or Birmingham, Bristol developed industries linked to its port, including shipbuilding, engineering, and manufacturing. The city also expanded in population and infrastructure, reflecting its continuing role as a regional centre. Railways connected Bristol to other parts of Britain, integrating it further into national systems of transport and trade. In the 20th century, Bristol's economy diversified. Traditional maritime trade declined in relative importance, while new industries and services developed. The port relocated downstream to accommodate larger vessels, and parts of the historic docklands were redeveloped for cultural and commercial use. Bristol became known not only for its history, but for its role in modern industries, education, and culture. Today, Bristol remains shaped by its past as a trading city. Its architecture, street patterns, and waterfront areas reflect centuries of maritime activity. The River Avon continues to define its geography even as its economic role has changed. Bristol's story is one of adaptation, a city that grew through connection and adjusted as those connections evolved. If Bristol shows how a city can rise through connection rather than production, what does that suggest about how influence is created? Is it defined by what's made or by what's moved? Because the story of Bristol is not only about trade or exploration, it's about position and the way a city can shape itself by reaching outwards. YouTube has chosen this video for you to watch next, based on watching this one. Have a look, I think you'll enjoy it. If you ding the bell, you'll be notified of all new episodes, so you won't miss any. Thanks for walking a little further along the road that built Britain with me. Bye.